Whether you rent or own a home, we all likely have nightmare stories about home maintenance, or what I like to call home cringe moments. Join me, your host, Katie Shahan, for the Yarlow Home Cringe Show. See what home cringe-worthy stories we have for you each week as we talk with local home service pros. Learn best practices for winterizing your home or what to look for after a hailstorm. Listen to the Yarlow Home Cringe Show every Sunday at 2 p.m. or on your favorite podcast app.
Hey, Cudahy to all my friends and relatives in four directions. This is Robert Pilot of Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. I'm here to ask you for your support. Finding honest Native-centered news is not easy, but with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support.
It takes teamwork to stay safe on Minnesota roads during the winter. You can help. When you see snowplows at work, slow down. Slower speeds can save lives. Don't crowd the plow and leave plenty of space between yourself and other vehicles. Keep your headlights on to see and be seen. Avoid distractions and always stay alert behind the wheel. This message brought to you by the Minnesota Department of Transportation, the Minnesota Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Hi, this is Frank Brown, owner of Minuteman Press Uptown, Minnesota's only minority-owned union printing company. We have big news. We've moved to North Minneapolis.
Why did you move?
As a Black business owner, I wanted to be part of the North Minneapolis community to provide jobs.
Are there other reasons you moved there?
We have bigger new equipment and outgrew the other location.
What kind of new equipment do you have?
We have new equipment that allows us to print quality signage and banners. We also have a new inkjet printer, printing larger sheets, improving production efficiencies.
Is the new location easy to find?
It's not only easy to find, it's more convenient with plenty of parking. We are now located on Washington Avenue North off I-94 and the Dowling exit.
So do you still print everything?
We print more than everything. We have over 175 Google reviews with a 5-star rating. Call 612-870-0777 or visit mpuptown.com. That's mpuptown.com. We print everything.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, cloudy with a low of 24, then Saturday, sunshine with a high of 37. Cafe Latte is unlike any restaurant you've ever experienced. Grab a tray and pick from their award-winning selections of soups, salads, sandwiches, and mouth-watering desserts. Cafe Latte, Victoria Street and Grand Avenue in St. Paul, or cafelatte.com.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake. Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Cudahy to all my friends and relatives in four directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. Hey, we discuss local and national Native news and events, and as you know, Haley, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues.
You are right, Dega. This portion of the show is supported by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Hey, it's Fun Fact Friday. Wendy will be on in a little bit, but we are starting off with the great state senator of Minnesota, Mary Kunesh. And thank you so much, State Senator, for coming in and checking in every Friday. It's our honor and our listeners' honor to really hear what you have to say, what you're doing, and how positive you always are. So welcome.
Thank you, everybody. It's nice to be here and see all of you again. It's been a few weeks in between all of the Thanksgiving and other events, and so yeah, it's good to be back.
You know, I saw this post you sent us. I don't know if you want to talk about that, but I thought it was so cool that that your father had that card. Do you want to talk about that really cool? Because I wanted to make a copy of it.
Oh,
So cool.
So really excited to have made a family discovery. So my dad passed away a number of years ago, almost 40 years ago. He was hit by a car riding his bicycle. And I was just in my early 20s, and my mom was left with a couple of my younger brothers and sisters. And so, we have some of his things still kind of stashed away. And my oldest brother is sort of the keeper of the goods. And he brought down to me the other day this red card, and it's in almost pristine condition. And it is his membership card to the American Indian movement. And there's not a date on it. So I wish I had a date, but I know it would have been in the, during the time that AIM was kind of created and the work that they were doing, because I remember my parents talking about it all the time and listening to the news and what was going on with all of that. So, that would have been in the 60s, the late 60s, early 70s. But it's a red card, and it gives the address of 1337 East Franklin Avenue, which I think, and I looked that address up to see if that building was still there. I think it's the Aldi's grocery store on the corner there.
Yeah,
Franklin.
they had that office there for many years that was basically across the street from the Four Sisters Market and out there where Aldi's is. Yeah, and yeah, that's really just cool to see and know that your late father, was really into it. So you had to be in AIM before 1978 because that's 70. Well, geez, 73 if it was 40 years, or 83 is 40 years ago.
Well, then maybe it was more than that. But, on the side, it says expires at will. So it's still here. I don't know. Here's the picture of it to show. Well, I already did send that to you, but it had some numbers on there, that phone numbers, I think, with a 333 start to the number. I don't know what 333. Do you know what area that is?
No, not off the top of my head, but I bet you Haley will find it real quick.
There's 4 different phone numbers on it, and it says Minneapolis. But yeah, that's a family heirloom, and I know that you're still really active in that. I don't know if Haley was. Ogama, of course, was active in it, and she did some of those night patrols when we had the George Floyd situation. And I got a lot of phone calls during that time, especially in the middle of the night, things happening, and contact so-and-so and tell somebody else this. But yeah, just really proud to have found that. My dad was not Native. He's actually half Czech and half Scottish, but he was very tuned into the issues of the American Indians, really a lot here in Minnesota. He used to do a lot of pro bono work, and I wish I could remember which tribes he would work with. I know Mille Lacs for sure, but he was a lawyer and he did a lot of pro bono work, and then also was the director of a program called Rural Crime and Justice. And so, yeah, he traveled all over up north, and I remember him taking us with him to get us all out of the house, I'm sure, to give my mom a break. And so, he was very tuned into what was going on. And I think the social justice part of it was very, very important to him, having heard what, like, my grandfather, my mom's father, went through growing up out on the Standing Rock Reservation and then moving here to Minnesota and basically building a whole new life. So, yeah, it was a treasure.
That's awesome. So, before we get into what you've been doing, I wonder, I had, tomorrow will be a week that I had COVID, and my first time, and it is out there, I hear. I don't know if you've experienced that, State Senator, but, there's a lot of COVID going on out there.
Well, I have yet to test positive for COVID. Knock on wood.
Right.
But I also have not gotten my booster, and I've been meaning to. It's just been crazy busy for us here. So I'm going to plan on doing that in the next couple, well, for sure by the end of this next week, and get that out of the way, because that's the last thing I want to do. Are you feeling okay?
Yeah, well, you want the funny story, and I've said this already on the air, but Saturday I wasn't feeling that well, and I thought, geez, I'm kind of coming down with something. And then Dr. Stately stopped by with a reef, and that we bought through it for his son's hockey team. And he goes, "Well, have you tested for COVID?" And Wendy and I like looked at each other and said, "No." And so we did, and I tested for COVID, and then he said to get a hold of the doctor. He took I can't remember what it's called, Plaxivoid, and really Sunday was my only down day, and all the rest of the days I've been feeling about 90%. So I'm vaccinated all the way up to, so I'm sure that helps, and it really helped taking that drug that you take if you find out you have COVID. So the symptoms were like one day I was in bed, and the rest is like. But tonight's going to be the first night that I'm going to leave the house, and Wendy and I will be masked along with Haley, and we're going to see my Hinu, who's in a play tonight, new Native theater play that's opening tonight, and we're excited to go, and I'm excited to get out of the house for the first time in almost a week.
Yeah, it really knocks you on your keister. Have you now tested negative?
No, it's the antibodies are going to be in you for a while.
Okay.
And that's why also I'll be wearing a mask, but what they say is that you have to quarantine, and Wendy's been quarantined too for the 5 days. She doesn't have it. And then you have 5 days after that where you should mask up and be careful who you're being around, especially our elders.
Yeah. I've been seeing more and more people out with masks on again. And in fact, I just cleaned out my briefcase work bag that's just stuffed full of stuff, and found like 4 masks in there, and I kind of hemmed and hawed. Should I just get rid of these? What should I do with this? And I thought, no, I'm going to tuck those back in there. You just never know. So I guess we just all need to be careful again this holiday season.
Right on. Hey, we're here with State Senator Mary Kunesh, and this is Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and we'll be right back after this short break.
Stay with us.
If the statistics say that 1 in 3 Native women and 1 in 6 Native men have experienced sexual assault in their lifetime, it means our whole community is affected by sexual violence. 1 is too many. Don't stand by, stand up. Don't engage in acts of sexual violence, and shut down the dirty jokes, the gossip, the victim blaming and shaming. As a community, we can change the way we respond. Contact the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition to attend a workshop to learn more.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Signing up for $1 bus and train rides with the Transit Assistance Program, or TAP, is quick and easy. Do it straight from your computer or phone by uploading one of the pre-approved documents listed at metrotransit.org/TAP, along with a copy of your ID. We'll mail you a go-to card with a full year of discounted rides. For questions or translation help, call 612-373-3333. 612-373-3333.
Minnesotans age 65 plus might qualify for Health Partners Minnesota Senior Health Options. The plan includes personal support, coverage for medical, prescription drugs, and dental, plus over 30 extra benefits. Eligibility information is available at healthpartners.com/oneplan. Health Partners is a health plan that contracts with both Medicare and the Minnesota Medical Assistance Medicaid program to provide benefits of both programs to enrollees. Enrollment in Health Partners depends on contract renewal.
End-of-life decisions are not easy to make. Hi, I'm Mary T. of Mary T. Hospice Care. It's important to make sure that this difficult time is meaningful and comforting to you and your loved ones. Our hospice team provides an individualized program of physical, emotional, spiritual, and practical care so your loved one is comfortable and not in pain. At Mary T. Hospice, we understand that choosing the right hospice care provider can be overwhelming, but we're here to assist you. Learn more today at marytinc.com.
You're listening to Native Roots Radio. This is Spirit from Reservation Dogs. Get up and listen.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Native American Community Clinic on Franklin Avenue in Minneapolis, honoring health and tradition.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. We're here with State Senator Mary Kunesh, and we're just catching up here a little bit about my personal health, but also, her cool dad had the AIM card, and that was so cool to see and talk about. State Senator, so what's going on with you? And I think we have the session is coming up soon here. What are you guys doing to prepare for that?
Well, you are correct. Our legislative session begins in the middle of February. And so I have been meeting with a lot of different people who are already talking about and asking me, what am I going to do this next session? Of course, last session, we really knocked it out of the ballpark. I don't think we'll ever be able to replicate what we did last session with the surplus dollars and the really targeted funding, especially towards education. But I have to be honest, I'm not sure what I will be focusing on. I think I still sort of think like a teacher, and you know how we present new information and curriculum, and then we have to kind of let it percolate for a while and then come back and revisit it. And so I'd like to see how things went this past session, and how those dollars that we invested in for our students was used. If they were used to the yep. I'll get you some in just a minute. I got my little granddaughter here. She wants more Cheerios. And where are we getting the best bang for our buck, and maybe where do we need to adjust a little bit? But we have lots of folks coming to us, lobbyists and organizations that would like us to, consider some legislation. We need to work on some legislation that we did last year that needs a little bit of flexing. Yep, just a minute. Our SRO, remember that whole situation with our school resource officers? We want to make it clear, really clear and not so confusing to the officers that are in our schools, just, what they can and cannot do and how they can do it and that sort of thing. So there's a lot of clarifying information. This is a bonding year. So that means that the focus will be on the infrastructure of Minnesota, bridges and highways, streets, the University of Minnesota, all of our state and university buildings. It's our responsibility to maintain that as well. The House of Representative folks would like to redo their building. It's really old and in need of some really good attention. So there'll be I'm sure, a really spirited discussion around using dollars to do that. But I'm just excited to get back and listen and hear from our students. We'll have one of our first hearings in the Senate Education Committee. We'll be hearing from the kids again. We did that last year. We really focused on them. So we invited kids from all different ages to come in and tell us about what's going on in their schools and what they like, what they don't like, what they think we should do. And we really focused on that last year as we invested those dollars. So we'll invite them to come back again and give us their ideas. But yeah, it'll be, I'm sure, another really exciting session. We have re-elections for our House members. So a lot of the rhetoric will be around elections and talking points and things like that.
Right. Well, we hopefully the Minnesota Senate or legislators won't be removing anybody like they did nationally with our friend from Long Island, and that happened today. So that was big news. But
Yeah.
you're also you were just voted as the chair as a Native American caucus that I heard.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, I attended the National Council of Native American State Legislators, and at that meeting, our then director, Benny Shendo, I don't know if you've ever come across him at all. Yep, we'll get you some more in a minute. Stepped down as the leader because he is now going to be focusing in the at the University of Colorado. And so I was elected the chair of the National Caucus of American Indian State Legislators. And it's quite an honor, for me to have been elected by the other members that attended. And we'll be working on issues nationally that affect our communities, our state, the hot button topics that each of our states are working on, and find ways to work together to ensure that our Native communities are getting the resources that they're entitled to, but also that we're able to help sort of form and mold national policy as well when it comes to things that affect our Indigenous communities.
Yeah, wow, congratulations. I didn't know it was national. That's even cooler.
Yeah, it's really cool. Right now we have 89 elected state legislators that are Native American, Alaska, Hawaiian, and then of those, they're like spread out across 21 states. I mean, that tells me that we have some work to do around elections. We need to get more of our folks into those positions and make sure that we have the coverage that we need. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely.
What about where are the missing and murdered Indigenous women? The license plates those are coming out after the new year, right?
Yeah, those should be coming out after the new year. We're still working. I think we've come down with a final design. I had an original, image in my mind with the red hand, and then a ribbon skirt, but that's kind of busy on a small license plate. And I really, really love the logo for the Missing and Murdered Indigenous Relatives Office.
Right.
And so it could be that we would just make it, simple and distinct in that way. But yeah, after January 1st or soon after January 1st, we should be able to have access to those.
Yeah, I happen to have a hoodie and a couple stickers, and so it is a great logo.
Yeah.
Is it supposed to stand too for both genders, right? Their logo?
Yep. It's all genders. It's inclusive of, all of our relatives, because we know that the violence against Indian people is not just unique to women and girls, but our men and our boys and our Two-Spirit communities as well. So we do want to make sure that we are acknowledging that for sure.
Wow, that is really cool. Yeah, we can't wait. We'll get those on our cars, right, Wendy?
Absolutely. Can't wait.
Yeah, and the beauty of it is that the funds for those specialty plates will go directly to the MMIR office. There's a little bit of money for administration costs, but the goal is to get those dollars into that office so that they can use it for reward money, to help with the expenses of the office. They just had that really great search for Nevaeh. And, all of that costs money. And yes, the state government can allocate dollars, but we just never know exactly what we're going to need. So this would be a way to ensure that there is a steady stream of dollars and hopefully for a good long time. This is, I don't know if any other state has created a permanent office in their state government. So what we're doing is really super unique.
No, I don't think there has been. And so a huge, wait, let me push the applause button. I like to use that whenever I can, whenever I remember. So we got another segment with you, State Senator, and Wendy's on here too, and we'd love to hear what you want to talk about, because that's Wendy always, in between breaks, always says, ask them what they want to talk about. And so we're going to do that, especially now that Wendy's paying attention to what I'm doing here. I kind of got COVID brain here a little bit, Wen.
Oh, I can't. I am not going to comment on COVID brain.
Easy.
Well, you've had it a couple of times, Wendy, haven't you?
I had it once early on after the first round of vaccines. I had it when I was in New York, and I kind of got stuck in New York. I missed my flight, and I had to stay out there for 10 days back then. That was the protocol for isolation. So I was there for 10 days.
It's crazy too. When you found out you had it, you got rid of all the food and everything, and then you took the test flying home that day, and there was nothing in the condo.
Yeah. Luckily, you guys have a condo out there, and you weren't, stuck in a hotel or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
hey.
That would have been
all right.
best.
Hey, it's Fun Fact Friday and fun with State Senator Mary Kunesh, and we're going to be right back after this short break. You're listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake.
Hi, I'm Claudia with MinSure, Minnesota's official health insurance marketplace. With MinSure, you can compare health plans from multiple companies and get free help from a trusted expert. Whatever health plan you choose with MinSure, it's guaranteed to cover essential benefits, so you can get the care you need. See if you qualify for discounts, available only through MinSure. If you need quality comprehensive health insurance, get started now at minsure.org.
Signing up for $1 bus and train rides with the Transit Assistance Program, or TAP, is quick and easy. Do it straight from your computer or phone by uploading one of the pre-approved documents listed at metrotransit.org/TAP, along with a copy of your ID. We'll mail you a go-to card with a full year of discounted rides. For questions or translation help, call 612-373-3333. 612-373-3333.
Hi, I'm Claudia with MinSure, Minnesota's official health insurance marketplace. With MinSure, you can compare health plans from multiple companies and get free help from a trusted expert. Whatever health plan you choose with MinSure, it's guaranteed to cover essential benefits, so you can get the care you need. See if you qualify for discounts, available only through MinSure. If you need quality comprehensive health insurance, get started now at minsure.org.
Unveil the captivating world of native photography at the Minneapolis Institute of Art. Their new exhibit, In Our Hands, Native Photography 1890 to Now, turns the camera around and puts native photographers in control, featuring hundreds of photographs captured by generations of First Nations, Métis, Inuit, and Native Americans. You'll view the world through their lens, revealing the beauty and complexity of Indigenous heritage. Don't miss this incredible experience. Visit In Our Hands at the Minneapolis Institute of Art now through January 14th. For more info, visit artsmia.org.
Hey, it's Tom. Since 2009, All Energy Solar has been providing solar energy solutions to customers. With fully licensed electricians and installers, you can be sure that your solar installation will go smoothly. The team at All Energy Solar understands that every customer is unique. They'll take the time to survey and understand your property to find a solar solution that works for you. One of the biggest advantages of going solar is the opportunity to take advantage of the many solar incentives available. But it can often be confusing to know what you're qualified for. All Energy Solar professionals will help you find out what savings you can apply for and even help with your applications. This is especially important since many rebate programs have limited capacity and are first come, first serve. So it's important to have a professional on your side who will make sure you get every eligible rebate. Get a free no obligation assessment from All Energy Solar's commercial solar specialists by calling 800-620-3370 or visit allenergysolar.com.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, cloudy with a low of 24, then Saturday, sunshine with a high of 37. Cafe Latte is unlike any restaurant you've ever experienced. Grab a tray and pick from their award-winning selections of soups, salads, sandwiches, and mouth-watering desserts. Cafe Latte, Victoria Street and Grand Avenue in St. Paul, or cafelatte.com.
Hi, I'm Jane Fonda, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by JS Bean Factory off Randolph Avenue in St. Paul. Only the good stuff, keeping us awake.
I am awake, and that's we like Steve's blend, Wendy.
Yeah, we do. It's like it's called like the Triple X, and it's really, really dark coffee.
Wow, definitely. Hey, we're here. It's Fun Fact Friday coming up soon with Wendy. Are you ready, Wendy?
I believe I am.
Awesome. It seems like it's been a while since you've been on the show.
It has been. I'm a little rusty. So.
We'll see. Here, well, I have COVID brain, so this will be an interesting rest of the show. But thank goodness we have Haley and State Senator Mary Kunesh on. And State Senator, we got the new flag and new design. What's your take on that? The finalists.
Well, that has also taken a lot of my time these last couple of months. That was a piece of legislation that I carried and had been working on it with Representative Mike Freiberg and Peter Fisher in the House. We talked a lot about it when I was serving in the House a few years ago. And we've been meeting every Tuesday very diligently, learning about what a good flag should look like, what to avoid. There are certain guidelines, good vexillology guidelines, make it simple, 3 colors, no words, something that a 3rd grader could draw from memory. And so if you've looked at them, the finalists, I think there's 6 that they whittled it down to, and I'm not a voting member of the committee. There are 12 of our members that are have the ability to vote. We went through thousands, over 2,000 images that were submitted. Some were submitted by kids, which was really, really cute and really sweet. Some were silly. Some had, a political message to the images and all of that. But we came down to those final 6, and we've heard a lot of response that people either like them or they don't like them. They feel it's way too simple. But if, after months of talking about this, every single one of those flags do follow the really great guidelines of a good flag. And so we'll continue to talk about it and narrow it down. They're now available on the website for people to look at, the last 6, and make some public comments. Maybe the color should be different, or there's a real big discussion about the star. What should the shape of the star be? It's amazing how many different star shapes there are out there. Yeah. But along with that, we are also going to choose a new state seal. And we've narrowed that down to just a few as well. There was one that does have the image of the loon on it. I know a lot of people are talking about loons, but the seal, the one that everybody voted unanimously for the top score, because there's still a handful of other ones, is has the loon. It has wild rice on it. It has the evergreens. I mean, it has like everything other than like our blueberry muffin or that sort of thing on it. And it's actually a lovely one, but there are a couple of other choices that we'll have to make for the state seal. So hopefully by early January, that decision will have been made and we can move on to adopting a new flag.
Wendy, what's the state flag look like in New York? Do you know?
I don't know, to tell you the truth. I was when Mary was talking about all the things on the seal, the loon and I thought, well, maybe they should be a lake because it's 10,000
Or the
lakes.
river.
And
There is water. There is water.
Oh, there is water.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
great. And then I'm thinking, well, how about a hot dish?
Yeah. You know what? There was a flag that had an image of a hot dish on it.
You're kidding. I'm
No,
joking.
there was one that had a bobber, the shape of Minnesota. That was kind of fun. I'm trying to think of what else. Yep. No, you can't have that, Bunny. Can't have that. There were a lot of really good ones. It was not an easy chore to narrow it down to just those few.
Well, I like what you said about easy enough for a third grader to draw. I like that. That takes out a lot of them. Some of them are very cool and complicated, and I think the easier the better. That was pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, there. You look at the images that are on the internet of the choices, and they might look kind of flat and sort of uninspiring. But there's a really cool app, and there's a couple of them. So I don't know which one to tell you to go to, but where you can pop a flag into it, and then it simulates the flag moving in the wind. And then also what it looks like when it's just sort of flat against the pole. And it really makes a difference. I mean, some of them look absolutely lovely when they're blowing in the wind. The whole image is really a little bit different. So I would encourage folks to find that app on their computer and download it. Yep, there you go. There's some images of the flags. There's discussion about especially on the seal, putting some Dakota language on there because the Dakotas were the originals. But yeah, I don't know if any of you have a favorite on that page. I kind of do, but I've been trying to keep it to myself, so not to influence anybody. But
Well, I wonder what the one on the bottom right, the last one on the right, with looks like the rivers and the star. I wonder how that looks flowing.
I like that one.
That one is really lovely. And the one thing is too with that one is that I think people could interpret it in a few different ways. So when I looked at that the first time, I thought, oh, that's like the snow swirling in, and then I thought, oh, it's almost like the aurora borealis, So there's different ways to interpret that. I did make a suggestion of adding green to those lines in the light blue, sort of the water. It's, it could be rivers, streams, the mighty Mississippi. And that's what I kind of like about that one is people can look at that and, interpret it in a really unique way.
Yeah, I agree. And it still has the North Star there, which is very popular. And I think one of the greatest sports teams' name was the North Stars that we lost in the 90s, early 90s. But that was a great sports team name. And we are the North Star State. And our friend, State Senator, our friend Kate Bean's on that board.
Yes, Dr. Bean is on that board, and she has been a really valuable voice for the Dakota folks and Native American in general. Did you know that it was her great-grandfather that helped design one of the original flag?
No, I
Wow.
didn't.
She
It
came on
was.
our
So
show and she said that.
Yeah, so it's kind of a full circle experience for her. Of course,
Yeah.
things were different back then, and I recognize that and realize that. That doesn't mean we have to stick with it, but he was a non-native gentleman who married a native woman, and that's the line that Kate and her family come from. But then he remarried, and I think she passed away. His first wife passed away, and he remarried a non-native woman, a white woman, and she wrote a poem that I spoke on the floor of the Senate about give way, Native. I don't know if it was, to the Indians, like, okay, just go away, we're taking over. And so that woman was not Kate's ancestor, but she has just been, just a really valuable. She runs the M Museum in downtown St. Paul and has worked for the History Center. She's just a wealth of information and such a valuable member on that committee.
Well, not only that, I think her and her sister spearheaded the change of Bidet Makaska,
Yep.
too.
Yep, they did indeed. They did.
Her and her twin sister.
Yep.
And then one of her great grandfathers is that famous author too, and helped start the Boy Scouts.
Eastman, yeah, she comes from some really incredible lineage.
Absolutely, yeah. Eastman, right? He did all those books, and she did a documentary on him. I can't remember what the name of the documentary was, but that was quite a few years ago on PBS.
Yep. And we have Shelley Bean on there too, so she's, of course, got that voice of reason when it comes to some of the suggestions, and it's a really good mix of folks that really wanted to be there and felt like they had something to contribute, and not just there to get in the way or be a negative voice, but yeah, it's a good group, and we've been having some really, really good discussion.
Well, that's so cool that I know that you, when you were in the House, was working on the change of this. That is so. I forgot all about that. And of
Yeah.
course, having Kate Bean on and Shelley were talking about that because they wanted more native designs to be brought on. They were on the show talking about that, and
Yeah.
geez, we know royalty here, Wendy.
And this isn't like a new idea. It's not just something that we've come up with in the last few years. It's been, a kind of a continual dribble of suggestion for decades. And it's not just the Democrats that have been bringing it forward, but there was a real movement by Republican legislators maybe about 15, 20 years ago to do this. So I don't know, the stars just sort of aligned, and this was the perfect time to do this. So I'm very, very excited to be a part of it, and excited for the new changes that are going to come from Minnesota.
Wow, well, great way to end it. Another thing too, our friend Dr. Hackett noticed too that you have a baby on the stairs, so you might want to be careful about that. They don't bounce that well at that age. Oh, wow.
They do bounce very
they
well
do.
at that age. It's our
the
age
opposite.
that do not bounce.
Yeah, these girls are climbers like you can't believe. I don't know that I've had a single one of them fall down those stairs. So, but thank you for the suggestion and the warning.
Right on. Hey, thank you, State Senator Mary Kunesh. Have a great week and keep on being positive and doing all these great things for the state of Minnesota.
For sure. Wopila.
All right. Hey, up next, Wendy, our Sacred Animals section, Fun Fact Friday.
Yeah, let's do it.
It returns. You're listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and we'll be right back after this short break.
Stay with us.
Minnesota has the only original wolf population in the continental United States.
And 80% of Minnesotans believe the wolf should be protected.
Howling for Wolves is asking Minnesotans to respect our true wildlife manager, the wolf.
Their survival is critical to our ecosystems, our communities, and even our economy.
As highly intelligent animals with strong social bonds, Minnesota wolves deserve to be protected and admired.
Learn more at howlingforwolves.org. Let's live and let howl.
Howl.
J&S Bean Factory is a native-owned, community-supported, cozy, artsy coffee shop which offers roasted on-site beans, live music, and baked goods. Relax in the beautiful outside patio. City Pages writes, voted top 10 coffee shops. Tucked into a quiet corner of St. Paul's Highland Park neighborhood, this coffee shop roasts beans on-site from the best coffee-growing countries in the world. Located at 1518 Randolph Avenue, St. Paul. The good stuff.
Signing up for $1 bus and train rides with the Transit Assistance Program, or TAP, is quick and easy. Do it straight from your computer or phone by uploading one of the pre-approved documents listed at metrotransit.org/TAP, along with a copy of your ID. We'll mail you a go-to card with a full year of discounted rides. For questions or translation help, call 612-373-3333. 612-373-3333.
Explore a world of stories, discussions, and camaraderie at Next Chapter Booksellers. They have a variety of genre-specific book clubs that meet monthly, including clubs for romance lovers, sci-fi, and manga. If your own book club needs suggestions, Next Chapter Booksellers can help you find the right book for any topic. Plus, for the little ones, Next Chapter Booksellers has children's story time every Saturday. Check nextchapterbooksellers.com for details about all of their clubs. That's the independently owned Next Chapter Booksellers off Snelling and Grand in St. Paul.
This is Leonard Peltier. I am in Coleman 1 U.S. Penitentiary, and I'm listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Howling for Wolves, protecting wolves for future generations.
How? Oh. One more time, Wendy.
Oh.
I'm so out of it here. I had your mic muted. I'm sorry about
I know.
that.
That's okay.
Hey, I'm going to guess what time of year it is, you two.
What time of year it is?
Yeah.
Winter.
Close.
Up.
And what about you, Haley? Do you have a guess?
Time for the Vikings to lose another game.
Easy. We have our fans in Wisconsin love to hear that talk. You got to keep it low.
I'm a Vikings fan
myself. Hey, it's time to sign up for MNsure, Haley, and tell our little audience here about that.
Yes. So I know navigating health insurance can be a really tricky and confusing thing, but luckily in Minnesota here we have MNsure. They make it easier. They connect you with local experts to guide you through the entire process. And every plan through MNsure offers essential health benefits. So if you do not have your health insurance going into the new year, please head over to MNsure.org and they will help you find the best plan for you.
And if you don't remember that, Google it, MNsure. And that's awesome. They've been doing great work for quite a few years.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's that time of week, Wendy.
Yeah.
I'm out of it. I'm going to let you take over the show, but I want to introduce my awesome and beautiful wife, Wendy. Wendy's been an animal advocate for many, many years, and she's the founder of Native Roots Radio in the last 7 years, going on our 8th year. So that's partially your fault too. Welcome.
Hey everybody, my name is Hanajihi Hani. That means cares for them. I was given that name by my Dega Curtis. Curtis goes by Mashke Hanajinga, which means walks on white clouds. I'm a humane policy volunteer leader for the Humane Society of the United States. I work on animal issues at the local and state level, and it's always my pleasure to do that. So Fun Fact Friday, I'm going to be talking about our little dog Wanda here. Yeah. She's sitting next to me. She's 12 years old. We've had her for 7 years. She is a rescue. She's a little Shih Tzu. She's around 9 pounds and she's full of sass and she's very excitable. And I'm training her now. I've been working with her for the past 5 days. So Wanda is very, very excitable. Like if anybody comes to the house, she's very excitable. She, barks, 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 barks. She's crazy. If she sees another dog while we're walking, she goes ballistic, especially if the dog is pretty close. We've just gotten to the point. So I know we've had it for 7 years, and I've been really lazy, and I don't have I didn't have patience. Like, it takes a lot of patience to train a dog, and I was just like, well, she's old. She's never going to learn this. If she barks at other dogs, that's fine. I'll just cross the street, whatever. But I really want to get her to the point where she's feeling more comfortable, because that's not really bad behavior on her part. Something's happening to her. She's feeling scared. She's
Yeah.
insecure.
Oh.
She's nervous. Like, something's happening. So I want to help her feel more confident. So I looked up and I watched, I can't even tell you how many videos on how to train a reactive dog. So Wanda is reactive.
Yeah.
So I found this one guy who I really liked his approach. He has an English accent, and I like that too. And he was really super kind and gentle with the dog. So that I really like too, because I want to have, positive reinforcement. A couple of other trainers were a little bit more harsh, and I don't want to do that at all to Wanda. So we just started training with treats. He also trains his dog too with treats, and also like a pull toy. So he'll offer that to the dog too. So what we're doing is, first he wants me to be able to walk Wanda, and then at a moment's notice, just say to her, Wanda, come sit, and have the dog listen and come sit. And do that first. So that's the first thing. You want your dog to, come to you.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I really liked what he said was, every time your dog comes and sits and looks at you, the dog should expect something good to happen. So a treat, a pull toy, a good word, a pat on the head,
A song?
a song,
Yeah.
whatever, something good. So your dog's going to expect something good. So we worked on that in the house, just like without the leash, just like kind of her following me with the treat, because she's very food motivated. So that's a good thing. And that's really a plus. If you have a dog that's food motivated, this will work even easier. So I want her to follow me around and have eye contact with me. And when I tell her to sit, I want her to sit and be still. And then I give her the treat. And she's done great at that. So now we're going outside, and we're going to
Practice.
see how she does
with
out
real
on
dogs.
the with real dogs, right? So what I'm doing first is, as we're walking, just randomly here and there, I'm just calling her name and asking her to come to me, sit, and I give her a treat. So we're just doing that. We do that over and over again till she just does that, right? So then when she sees another dog, I want her to associate seeing another dog again with a good, happy experience. So when she sees the other dog before, and this is my fault, I have to get her before she goes ballistic. As soon as she gets like feeling a little, I could tell when she's getting a little like, jumpy, call her, have her come over and get a treat. So I've been doing that over and over. When she sees the dog, okay, Wanda, come sit. And I give her a treat. I'm telling you, today's the 5th day. I'm walking her. She saw a dog across the street, and before I did anything, she came and she sat in front of me.
No.
Oh,
Yes.
Good girl, Wanda.
She's so smart. The problem is I have to keep getting closer and closer to that other dog. She kind of has like a barrier. I don't know how close that dog can get. And I think it's just repetition and doing this over and over. Well, across the street, she does really well. If it's anything closer than across the street, she kind of still is getting.
That's about
grim.
30 yards.
Yeah. So we have to get closer and closer and just keep practicing. But she's doing really great. And I couldn't believe it. I wanted to cry when she did that today. I mean, really, she's really super, super smart. So I'll keep working on her. We want to take her to New York. That's really what got me motivated to do this.
Wow.
Because there are so many dogs there, and there's people all over walking their dogs, and it's more crowded and just more people. So I just want her to be, she doesn't have to be 100%. I just want her to feel better and do better. So that she's not going ballistic. But yeah. So I have a couple of fun facts here.
Hey, that was a fun fact and fun story. Thanks,
Yeah,
Wendy.
yeah, thanks. I'm going to keep working on it, and hopefully,
I remember
she'll just keep getting better and better.
I remember when you worked the night shift years and years ago when we first got Mickey, and I came home and you were still in your robe and your hair was all messed up, and you said, Mickey goes bang bang now. And that was like the house was dirty, there's dishes in the sink, but
Laundry was piled up, but the dog,
Mickey
if I
could-
made a finger that's, like a gun, and I said bang bang to him, I taught him to like drop dead. And it was the cutest thing. I did that on the couch. So Mickey was a little chihuahua, so I get him on the couch, and I would say, okay, Mickey, bang bang, and I push him over.
Yeah.
I push him over and I give him a treat. And at first he was like looking at me like, what the heck is he
This
doing?
was a chihuahua.
Pushing
This
me.
chihuahua would have jumped at you if you
Yeah,
didn't look at him
but
the
I did
wrong
it.
way.
I'm telling you, he learned so fast. I did
He
it
was
like
food
I did it like
made of
10. I did it like 10 times, and he did it on call. He didn't even need a treat.
He was very motivated, just like me. Hey,
Yeah.
Wendy, we don't have time for fun facts. Let's
Yeah, that's
save it
okay.
up.
I'm
Great
saving it up. I got lots of good stuff.
Right on. Hey, great show today. Thanks for coming on. Haley,
Sure.
great work as producer and running the show as always. Thanks to State Senator Mary Kunesh. We're still here. We are the 7th generation.
Free Leonard Peltier.
Now.
Now.